Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
that's Stellan! Yeah.
Good evening. It's Mare, Cher, and Stace. We're here in Berlin, New Jersey. We just went to a comedy fundraiser. Fundraiser was for Crohn's disease and colitis. Dina was the headliner. We had a wonderful dinner, raised a lot of money for a good cause. And here you go, Stephanie. I know you need an intro, so here you go. And welcome to the morning show with your host,
Dina Blizzard.
Good morning. Good morning. Missy's in the house today.
Good morning.
How is everybody? It's Monday. You made it. Kind of. I don't know what this is. Missy came in today to come with me for my follow-up mammogram, and she showed up dressed and ready, and I still wasn't ready. I was like, you came from Delaware, and you're still here before I am ready.
But see, if you are in your own space,
No.
there's too much around you that you have to attend to. I literally had to get ready and leave everything else to Jeremy.
And Missy and I have decided that there is an extra level of friendship, and I don't know how many of you have this person. So there's like acquaintances, right? Then there's like, your circle of like who you actually go out with, right? Then there's like who you tell your secrets to, right? Then there's your besties. And then right in the middle are people you will go FaceTime with at like 6 a.m. And I don't know if you have this friend. Put them in the comments. Who's your I will let you see me ugly at 6 a.m. Who is your person?
And not just a picture of you ugly, like real-time ugly. Real-time ugly.
And even as you answer, you're like, oh, this is rough. You're like, and the other person is always welcome to laugh. As if they're like, ha, 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 what happened to you? Like that. My BFF Rachel, Marianne. I hate FaceTime anytime. My husband, that's it.
Your husband, that's it. Yeah. Oh, hate FaceTime.
I have 2 of them. Oh, tornado sirens at 6:15 this morning. Where do you live, Sarah?
Wow.
My best friend, Jeannie, Tanya, and Chrissy.
A tornado should at least wait until you've had your coffee.
It should.
Yeah.
It should. My husband and my BFF, Lisa. My mom. No, the best was remember when Diana with her bra, when she was backwards, and we saw was her big old underwear.
And we had her.
And she was like, I don't want anybody to see me. We're like, we see all
the
of
reflection,
you.
we see all
of you.
It was startling. It was startling. Oklahoma still under tornado watch for later. Schools canceled. Oh,
wow. So what do you do, Sarah? Like, do you go underground? Like, we don't have them. We don't have them. All right. So look, Diana froze all of the Luscious layer bars. If you missed last night's Walla, you should really go back and watch because it was hilarious. So Diana left this plate of all the rejects. So I took the good ones out of the freezer so you can have either. I think the rejects still look good. I don't know.
I was about to say, I don't know why this would be a reject.
When I was younger, my best friend and I would drunk dial people in the night, tell them we were stuck on the side of the road, and see who would take a cab and come get us. They didn't think it was funny. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
It's not a good idea.
But do you remember the art of the crank call?
I was too nervous.
Missy.
Oh,
Missy. The worst thing that could have happened was caller ID. Just for that. Like, I love caller ID for me being able to filter people. But it was, you never crank called anybody. You and your girlfriends, where you call a guy, you're like, oh my gosh, it's Robbie home.
Yeah, I remember at slumber parties it would happen, but I was terrified. I don't know what I thought it was going to happen. I don't know. But I was terrified of crank calls.
You never did it.
I was around when other people did.
You were an
I was
accomplice.
adjacent. I was crank call adjacent.
LaFive said, I'm Team Missy. I never did it.
Yeah, it was bad manners. Like, I just felt like, I don't know. I've always lived in fear of someone yelling at me. Joanna says she still does it. Or Jana, I still do it.
Did anybody ever prank call you?
Yes.
What, was it funny?
It scared me because I was babysitting and I thought a killer was coming.
What would they say? Like, we're coming for the children?
Yeah, they just said, are you home alone? That was scary.
Oh, that's not a prank call. That's a threat.
It's a threat.
That's different. That's different. No one should do that.
I know.
We were kids, kid crank calling. Bubbles from the bar was our favorite. What does that mean? Bubbles from the bar. Why does that sound like a clown?
Bubbles from the... Oh, they'd say I'm Bubbles from the bar.
What does that mean? Missy, what kind of lipstick do you use?
This is, and it's interesting, a lot of people ask me this, so I'm going to stick with this color. It's actually a lip pencil, Max Half Red, and then I usually just stick chapstick on top of it. But it's the lip pencil by MAC called Half Red.
Okay, next question. Have you ever toilet papered a house?
God, no.
You're joking. I don't even want to ask you if you've ever egged a house.
I'm getting hot thinking about that. Like, I would. No.
Missy!
Carly ding dong ditched somebody and then was laughing so hard she wet her pants in their front yard when the man came out.
You never did anything?
No.
What did you do for fun?
Okay. This was my idea of
here
fun.
we go.
I had my friend Dawn Muntz come spend the night. And she's like, let's sneak out in the middle of the night. We're going to go walk around the neighborhood by all the guys' houses. I'm like, okay. So this and me.
Well,
I'm
sounds
like,
good.
oh yeah. But I'm like, Mom, listen, Dawn and I are going to sneak out in the middle of the night. I want you to pretend like you don't hear anything, but we're going to do it at around midnight. And if I'm not home by 2, I need you to come look for me. That's me.
And what did your mom say?
My mom went along with it. She
She's
knew
like,
she
got it.
was. She's like, got
leave
it.
the door unlocked.
I'll leave
a snack by the door.
Yeah. She's like, I'll make sure, you know. She's like, but Missy, don't do a window. You're going to break your leg. Just go out the door. Tell him your mom's a sound sleeper. Yeah.
You're joking.
I'm not. My first party, my first high school girl boy party, the boys showed up at my house in a Jeep. Like, you want to come to a party? I'm like, I'm watching a movie. My mom's like, go to the party. So I get cute. I jump in the van. We go. The Jeep. We go. And it was at Steve's house. And it was this big house. And I go and there's all these people.
There's always a guy named Steve.
Yeah, always a guy named Steve. And this guy I'd had a crush on for years walked up.
Tell me.
He kissed me. And I said,
getting good.
And I said, have you been drinking? And he said, yes. And I was like, well, if you remember this.
My mom.
No, then if you remember this tomorrow, I'll kiss you again.
Oh.
But then I was like, where's Steve's parents? I want to say hello. So they're like, they're out of town. That's why we having this party.
This is Steve.
And I called my dad and told him to come pick me up because we were unsupervised.
No, you didn't.
I did. I was like, there's no grown up here. There's no grown up here. I need my dad to come get me.
Well, Jacqueline cracks up because did you kiss him again?
No, well, here's the thing.
Tell us what happened.
Well, here's the thing. He's a
Steve
twin.
kissed another girl.
Yeah. Well, he had an identical twin. So
How'd
it's
you know it
Chris
was
and
Steve?
Steve. Well, I don't know to this age. And they've both been in my comedy shows. And I'm like, which one of you did I kiss in high school? But they've been with their wives both times. And I feel like that's an awkward thing to bring. I mean, everybody kissed
Yeah, just
everybody.
bring it up.
And just, yeah.
Like,
But-
do these remind you of
If
anything?
anybody, yeah. It was, yeah.
Sorry, TikTok. That was for you.
that,
Did you ever play Spin the Bottle?
yes.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's
yeah.
like, oh, I played a lot of stuff.
I played, yes, I did play Spin the Bottle.
Did you ever, what was it? 7 Minutes in Heaven? What was it?
Yeah, 7
No.
minutes.
Did
in
you do
heaven.
that?
Yes.
No, I didn't do that.
I did.
Too much time.
Here's the thing, you
A
guys.
lot of bad stuff can happen in 7 minutes.
There was one area in which I was not a goody goody.
Oh, tell us those stories.
But you know what I mean? But like, yes.
I
So
feel like we're learning a lot about Missy today.
yes, no, but I definitely had a lot of nerd proclivities. I was very concerned
That's-
about personal safety, but I did
I
like
have a
to
question.
kiss the boys.
Were you like on the bus or like a crossing guard? I feel like you were a safety. If you're that much of a goody two shoes, you were a safety.
No, but I was always the kid who volunteered or study. What was it called? The study period. I don't know. Like your free period in high school, I always went and volunteered to help the teachers. My study hall. That was the word. The study hall.
That's
I
the
always-
word you were missing.
That
I was
was the
like,
word.
detention? I was
No,
like, what are you
I
saying?
never. Did you ever get detention?
I think I did once. I
Never.
can't remember why. It was probably something real dumb.
Yeah, never.
What is
Study hall.
7 minutes in heaven? Why don't you tell him, Missy?
Okay.
Missy's like, I played 30 minutes in heaven.
10 years. 7 minutes in heaven is now we did it as part of Spin the Bottle.
Okay.
And somebody would pick you or you'd pick somebody because based on the bottle and you would go into a closet or
Wait,
some
what did you
hidden
say
space
based on the bottle? What do you mean?
based on who the bottle landed
was
on. Like
pointing.
sport is
But wait, how did you know when you were playing Spin the Bottle versus 7 Minutes in Heaven?
because well in Delaware they just didn't really differentiate. Is it somebody either got up and kissed you or you left the room? Like you know what I mean? Like the bottle was
you got
always
to
the term.
choose. You got to choose.
No. Like you'd start the game 7 minutes in heaven and you knew that's what it was. Or it would be Spin the Bottle.
Okay. I was
just
confused.
always there was the
Okay.
bottle.
Mhm.
So 7 minutes of heaven, the bottle lands on you. You get to go. Did she literally just blank on the word that is her last name?
Study
That's-
hall.
You
Missy
make an
Hall.
excellent point. You make an excellent point.
Yeah.
No, but then somebody sets it. Well, there was no timers. They just watch their watches and you go in a dark closet or something for 7 minutes.
Now let me get this straight. So you wouldn't go to a party where it was open to the public. There
Right.
was drinking, no parents. You're like, absolutely
No.
not. I will not go to a party where my clothes are on, the lights are on, and there's a large number of people here. But if you have a dark closet
And a timer.
with no lights on and a boy that I barely know, I'm in.
If the mother is upstairs,
As long as I got to say hi to his mom.
as long as I got to greet his parents, yes. Yes. If I could say hello to the parents, I
You
felt
are
safe.
so funny. Because you would have confused me as a friend. I'd have been like, Missy, it'll be fine. His parents are here. Like, let's just stay calm. I would have calmed you down. And then you would have run for the closet. I'd be like, what are you doing?
I was the worst. Because I would be the one that would like immediately find somebody to like make out with, even in the bar. You know, we got older, we'd go out with their friends, and it was like, where's Missy?
Like, where's Missy? Is there a closet around
Is
here?
there a closet? No, but if there were parameters in place, if there were parents, the parents could have been.
Did you just walk in and be like, can you show me where your son is and a closet? Hello, Mrs. Smith. Do you have a closet? Just send your son
Just
in
so
there.
you
I'll
know,
be naked. If you
7
just wanna
minutes.
send him in. Just
7
need him
minutes.
for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Where have I been? I've never heard of 7 Minutes in Heaven. Elaine, where did you
Wow.
grow up?
Yeah, where did you grow up?
I thought everybody knew about it. I never did it because I'm not a.
Totally.
No, I never did that. But we grew up in a very rural area, so we were all like outside. So the best is my sister. I don't think I ever snuck out. I did what you did. I'd be like, Mom, we're gonna sneak out later, but I promise we'll be back. I'll do the dishes when I come back.
Right.
Like that, right? Because I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong. And but my sisters used to sneak out all the time. And the best story, and I never really knew about it. They never asked me to come. They knew I wasn't. I'd be like, the Lord says we're not supposed to lie to our parents.
Exactly.
I don't even know how to open that window with the screen, and how you gonna get that screen back on. Like, I'd have a lot of reasons why. Like, just use the door and just tell Mom, and she'd be fine with it. Like, I was that. But apparently my sister tells a story. So my dad used to work shift work. He was a police officer. And so he would be like 7 to 3 or 3 to 11. So, but he was constantly changing. I don't know how he did it, honestly.
Yes.
So he'd just be sleeping all the time. So they had gone out one night. So we lived in a bi-level. So right, like you come in and there's steps up or steps down.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're downstairs, the windows are right at the level of the ground. So they would go in the laundry room, they would climb over the washer and dryer, and then there was a big window there, and then they would just crawl out onto the dirt and then go, right? So my sister was coming in around 7 in the morning with her girlfriends, and we were all bigger then. We were like a little bigger kids, right? One of the girls was bigger. And they're all climbing in. The girl's climbing in. Doesn't my dad put, now the window is on this side of the house, the driveway. So they hear my dad pull up and she's stuck in the window.
Like Winnie the Pooh?
So yes. So half her butt is in, half is out. My dad is pulling in the driveway. They're all in there trying to pull her in over the washing machine. Nicole was like, I'm telling you, it was the funniest thing. And they were like, get in the house, he's here.
No,
but it was. And then we used to, so I don't know.
I would have had a heart attack.
Oh no, she did. She said that time that they were like really cutting it close because they had to have run across. Like if my dad had come around the corner 2 seconds prior, he would have seen them running across.
That's
the
like
street.
a stressful scene in a movie.
Yeah, no. I mean, you were like, oh, dun 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 dun. Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying.
But I do remember. I don't know if your mom had this rule, but if parents weren't home, you were not allowed to have boys in the house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that was the rule. No
not
boys.
allowed to do it. Which makes sense when you're like, you know, in grammar school or whatever, high school starts to get a little shady. But sometime around junior, senior year, you're like, I mean, this is ridiculous.
Right.
You guys can come in, right? And so I just remember we thought we were so slick, right? And we weren't doing anything. It'd be like 4 PM, right?
Right.
And so we're all in the house hanging out. And you never see kids just run faster than when you hear somebody pull in the driveway, right? So same thing. We hear my mom pull in the driveway. And we'd all get up and we'd all start scrambling. We're like, get out the back door, get out the back door. Okay. And so we would open the back door. And so you had to go out on the porch and then run down these steps. And we would get and then we'd tell the guys, go downstairs, hang out on the side of the house for a few minutes, and then come around and then knock on the front door because now she's home. So now you could come in. We had a whole thing. And
did it work?
No. She would come in the door. She'd act like nothing happened. And then, you know, a couple minutes, you had ding dong. Oh, hi, Mrs. Kerbin. She goes, oh, guys, you're not out of breath from running out the back door? She's like, just come on in. I saw you. I snuck out one time. My mom locked all the windows and doors, had to wait until morning to get in.
Perfect.
My neighbor across the street stole my boyfriend and his bikes out of my driveway when I snuck them in. Oh. Mm-hmm. I passed my dad going in the shower when I was sneaking in once. I told him I was getting a drink of water. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's hysterical. They ran out the honey door.
The honey door. We had a honey door then. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny.
Diana knew. And the boys were so dumb. They were like running by like a certain, and you know, had they just walked, then she probably wouldn't have noticed him. But we had like a breezeway, and so they were all like, going like that, walking. She's like, really?
Be cool, guys.
So dumb. So dumb. I remember a kid I was dating. his parents had the same rule. And of course I went in the house and I said, and I just needed to use the bathroom. I was like, I just need to use the bathroom. He's like,
Right.
like real weird
That
about
would have
it.
been me like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to pee on that bush.
And he goes, well, the bathroom's right there. And he was talking and go, okay. So I start walking through the living room and he goes, stop. And so I was just like, he was like, look down.
No.
And I looked down.
The carpet lines.
The vacuum lines were in the floor. He was like,
you're
you
dead.
need
you're
to back
dead
out
meat.
the same way that you walked into the room, and you need to do this with the carpet.
Yeah. No.
And so I backed up, and I was just doing this, and I moved back,
like
and then I
do
that. I thought I did a great job. And he's like, my mom came home, she saw it. I was like,
You're like, couldn't she just say Dina has to pee?
Yeah. My brother, this is Tim Grill. My brother and I shared a bedroom on our ground floor. One night he snuck out and I made a dummy for him in bed. My mom came in and I said, shh, Joey's sleeping. And she bought it. She never knew. Man, you're a good brother.
You're the best brother.
Yeah. My sisters and I snuck out when we were teenagers. My dad literally nailed the window shut.
Good for him. Carly snuck out a lot. And Paul left her a note. That was who I was married to at the time. Left her a note on the window and said, please use the door. You're messing up the screen.
Right? That was my whole thing. I was like, how are we going to fix this window?
Yeah.
So funny.
And after all that, did you end up peeing yourself? Did you pee on that poor lady's carpet when you had to back out of the vacuum?
No, I went around. I did this, and then I had to go around the house and then go pee. I probably shouldn't have been in the house.
No. I couldn't handle that angst of being someplace that I wasn't supposed to be. I can't. I still can't.
Listen, you're not supposed to be in this house, right?
I know. Do you remember we were flying? I think it was the Bourbon trip. Dina had me get in the wrong seat on the plane, and I was a hot mess until we took off. She's like, just come sit with me. I'm like, no, my seat's here. She's like, no, come back here. I'm like, that's not my seat. Missy, it's empty. Sit in there. I can't move the chart. I can't. She's like, get back here. I'm like, and I did it, and nothing happened, and the plane didn't crash. Nothing.
Look, Danielle and her mom are both here. She's like, Eileen is her mom. I never snuck out or snuck anyone in. I was a good girl. Ha ha ha. Nobody believes you.
Nobody does.
Nobody believes you, Danielle. Yep. I would have thought that Andrea never snuck out, but then she hit us with her keg story. Dina, did you ever catch your kids doing any of this? Not really, because my kids would have done the same thing. They'd have been like, listen, I'm going to sneak out later with my friends. I'm like, all right, just text me when you get there. Yeah, then I never did it. But Jacqueline is so funny because Jacqueline is you. So she went to a party. So I think Jacqueline, and Brooke went to a party. So maybe like Jacqueline was like a junior. Brooke was a freshman. And Jacqueline was like, Brooke, this is how it went down. It was like a party. It was like a cast party, an after show cast party. So you're allowed to go to those, right? And Jacqueline's like, I'm going to take care of her mom. It's fine. You know, freshmen go into upper class.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Stay together. Jacqueline's like, I got this. Don't worry about it, Mom. I've been around. I'm a junior. So Dean told me later that he got a call. So they went to this party. Parents were there.
As it should be.
And I didn't get the phone call. Dean got a phone call. The two of them are hysterical crying in a bathroom. They call their brother and they're like, you need to come get us right now. And he was like, what's wrong? And he's like a freshman in college. She's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, we came to this party and they have alcohol here in the basement. And he was like, it's okay. And I was like, it's not okay. And like, hysterical crying. He said he pulled up and they came running out of the house. All the other kids were like, hey, Dean. And these two hysterical girls are running. And she says, Mom, I don't know what it is. Because now obviously she's 22 and she goes out to drink. But like, and it's not like we were like people who drink are evil. Like,
no.
We just never drank a lot. So it was just like, you know, like be responsible.
Yeah.
But I remember being the same way. I was like, damn.
I know. Do you know? I had my first alcohol in college. I never once in high school, and I went to like not an official reunion, but it was like around the holidays. A bunch of people were back in town. So I drove down to Lower Delaware, met them, and they were like, gosh, remember when we used to sneak all the alcohol in our gym locker shampoo bottles? Like, so they had shampoo bottles in their gym lockers and they all had alcohol. I'm like, there was alcohol at our school dances? And they're like, yes.
Yeah,
Like,
I never knew.
I never knew. I had no idea. I'm like, nobody.
Barb just wrote, I live by myself and I still sneak out.
Barb.
Just a good feeling that I'm getting away with something.
Do you know what, Barb? When I was a single mom and Carly was with her dad, sometimes I would leave the house at like midnight just to go to Wawa and get like some ice cream because I'm like, I'm out. I'm out in the middle of the night. I wouldn't put on a bra, you know, and just put on a baggy sweatshirt. And yes, there's something about like I can just leave willy-nilly whenever I want to.
My kids did not drink. My daughter called me from a drinking party asking me to come get her. She was afraid it would ruin her chances of getting into college.
Oh, I love her.
My friend's dad used to put up a pencil line on the liquor bottles. We never figured out how he knew that we tapped into them.
My mother's brothers used to get into my grandfather's alcohol, and he had the really fancy bottles, bourbon, like they were turkeys, but they weren't ever supposed to be open, and the boys opened them and like would fill them. But they all got caught.
Yeah. So my dad, it's so funny because my dad had, when they bought the house, had this beautiful bar built in the basement. And it was brick and built in. And my grandfather was an alcohol salesman. So there's like,
all the
really
stuff.
cool, right?
Yeah.
But they never drank. Like, it was so funny to me that my dad would spend all this money on this bar. He just liked, he loved the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. Right?
You can tell by the way I use my walk.
Close man, no time to talk.
You let me see another day.
I can't sing anymore because I'm gonna get.
Oh, we're gonna get in trouble. That's right.
So he loved it. Okay. So then we started sneaking boys over, and we would be downstairs, and the guys would go running for the bar. And we would just be sitting on the couch watching a movie, and they'd all get back there looking through all you hear bottles clinking around, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And they're like, "Do you ever drink this stuff?" We're like, "No, nobody has for like 10 years.
No one cares. It's here."
Yeah, we were like, "I don't think you should drink that." And they were like, "Of course we're going to drink it." And they're getting glasses out. The glasses were just covered in dust, and we're like, "I don't think anybody's washed those. I don't want to drink them." And they're pouring it out.
These are props.
Yeah, they're pouring it out and they're tasting, and it's disgusting. And they're like, "Why is all this so old?" And I was like, "Because it's just a problem. Yeah, it's a problem.
It's
like
a
nobody
prop.
drinks
This is
here."
the happy part of our house.
But they were so confused. They're like, "Why would he have all this stuff?" We're like,
we don't know.
It's just always been there. But it was never like,
I have a kitchen.
that doesn't get used either. But it was so funny. Like it was never like you can't have it. But they weren't big drinkers, so it wasn't something we saw. Or at least I didn't drink.
It wasn't. My parents didn't drink. I mean, I remember maybe my mom would have wine. My grandparents drank, and they had a bar down in the basement. They had a split level too, you know. And I remember, but it was terrifying because my grandfather, you know, those monkeys that go.
Oh yeah,
he had one of those on his bar. Scared the snot out of me. When I was 3, I was always terrified to go down there.
Yeah,
where the bar was.
Funny.
Yeah. Carly did. I was always like, of course, I don't want you to drink or do any of those things, but never put yourself in danger.
Yeah.
If you or your friends are somewhere.
Yeah.
And you need me, I will come and I will get you and I will get everybody home safe. No questions asked.
I have a question. Can you tell that story?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is a funny one.
So here's me, nerd mom. Like, I'll come get you if there's ever a problem. My daughter took this out. Mom says I can drink. So I was looking for one of the cats one day, and I go in. My daughter was 17. I go and I look under her bed for the cat. I don't see the cat, but I see a ginormous bottle of Bacardi. And she's at school. I'm like, what do I do? I was like, should I take it out, dump it, fill it with water? So she's like really embarrassed wherever she takes it. Should I take a picture of it and just text it to her at school? And she's going to be sweating all day. Or should I just take it and say not a word and wait to see what happens? So that's what I did. I'm all kinds of cool. I take it, I hide it in my room. You guys, 2 weeks goes by. Kid does not say a word. And we're getting near to homecoming is when this happened. I am driving. I'm on 95. I'm on my way to the gig. And my daughter calls me. She's like, Mom, I don't know how to ask you this, so I'm just going to ask you. I'm like, what? She's like, did you come into my room and find alcohol? I was like, I did. She's like, why were you looking under my bed? Like, I was looking for the cat. She's like, well, where's my alcohol? I was like, it doesn't really matter. She's like, well, you don't drink. I'm like, no. She's like, well, can I have it back? I'm supposed to take it to a homecoming party this weekend. I was like, no, you can't have it back. She's like, Mom, you know that I drink. You're the one that said you would come get me. I was like, okay, that was not, okay. You are taking a pretty big leap on what I meant by this. This did not give you carte blanche to suddenly have alcohol in our home and drink whenever you feel like it. I just meant I didn't want you to die in an accident. Okay, that's what that was. She's like, well, can I please have it back? And I was like,
She wanted her liquor back.
Oh, it gets worse. I said, no. And then there's this silence. She's like, well, then can I at least have the money that I spent? She asked me to pay her for the alcohol that I had confiscated from her room. And I'm like, I'm hanging up now. And my gosh, I felt like my head was going to explode. I felt like
she's a lovely
she's a pastor. My kid, like, she went so far in the other direction. I wish I wish I had known that day. I'd had a little glimpse into the future where she wasn't in jail. I would have really been a lot more at ease in those years, because I was worried. Like, when you have a kid that says all of that, you worry. Can I have my money for it? Like, what? Can you imagine saying that to your mom when you were a teenager? Did you take my alcohol? Well, give me my money.
Can you give me the money?
What?
Because it was a lot.
That?
My daughter has done that several times with all sorts of contraband.
What is
if you're using a word like contraband, your kid's into some stuff.
Yeah. If you know, yeah.
I would use words contraband. Like this alcohol, maybe, but you're like contraband.
Contraband. She got lots of stuff. We're talking knives.
Mom's been through
this kid's
stuff.
got a shiv in her room.
Yeah. Told my parents that they needed to knock before entering my room. Put a sign on the door and everything. That's what you did, Shakendra? Hey, Jim Daly.
Hey.
He's the best.
Drink up, got my coffee.
Jim Daly's about to become very popular and very busy.
Very popular.
We are coming into what we call Jim Daly's season, because Jim is the most fabulous Santa Claus.
You guys,
fantastical.
It's, you know how you see some Santas and then you see magic Santa, and Jim is magic.
He's
like,
magical.
I cried when he came in.
I know.
He came into that night before Thanksgiving gathering in a Santa Claus, and I teared up.
I know. So Jim is a comedian, a very, very funny comedian.
So I'm working with him soon. I'm
you
excited.
Are?
Yeah.
And so on the night before Thanksgiving, I feel like I'm doing the night before Thanksgiving and all through the house. A bunch of the comedians in Philly get together because it's the one night of the year where usually people aren't working, right? We work most Fridays, Saturdays, some Thursdays. Sometimes we go to nursing homes and sing. Nobody in particular. But this Wednesday, we usually will get together at this place and we all kind of just do our annual thing, whatever. And so I don't know if he does it every year, but I remember specifically last year, Jim came in, but he was dressed as Santa.
It was beautiful.
And I think snow was falling around him. He had reindeer.
We were suddenly in like a train village.
It was
it was just like
magical.
It was. And then he had to leave because somebody was smoking pot and he couldn't have his Santa costume smell like marijuana.
Is that why he left?
He had to leave because the room smelled like pot. He's like, God, this is going to get in my suit. We cannot have Santa. Santa cannot smell like pot. So Santa, he had to leave.
I had no idea that.
He
I
had to
thought he
leave.
had to go visit some kids or something.
Well, but he was like, I got to get out of here because the smell.
That is so crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
He is just amazing.
He said, I do it for the hose.
Wrong. We here. You hose are right here.
Hey, right here.
Right here.
Oh, that's so funny. So funny. My older sister smoked with my cousin in the basement. And when no one was home, I wasn't invited. I just stood by the door.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I am so. When Jeremy and I just went to Amsterdam. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's the crazy time.
Well, here's the thing.
Tell me.
No one's ever offered me drugs. And we're walking through Amsterdam, and Jeremy's like, that guy just tried to sell me Coke. That guy just tried to sell me crack. I'm like, I'm right.
Wait, what?
Like, seriously.
They'll
I'm like,
just sell you like on the street? That's legal?
I don't know that that's legal.
I was going to say, I don't think that's legal.
But that's what I mean.
anywhere.
It was quiet. Like, it wasn't like, hey, I got your Rolex. Or, no, but Jeremy was like, and I would see people, I thought people were just saying hi. He's like, yeah, that guy just tried to sell me Coke. I'm like, no one has.
Do you think just
they
based?
have to know.
Oh, look what you just did.
What did I do?
You just said the words on TikTok and you got us flagged. You can't say, oh, now we're restricted. Good job, Missy, with your Amsterdam story.
Oh.
You know what? This is the kind of trash we expect when Missy comes over.
I am so sorry.
You're not allowed to say that. It's the CRACK word.
What if I was talking about my butt?
Totally fine. You can say anything about your butt.
Okay.
We don't talk about butt stuff a lot, but I imagine that would probably get you in trouble. I don't know if you want to push the limit on that as well, but
I'm sweating. Again.
Yeah. Now look what
everything.
you did. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, but anyway, in the city where we were visiting.
Let's continue. What else?
No,
what else?
I'm going to see how I'm going to reword it. I'm going to
You
reword
can't.
it. I can say people approached my husband to sell him certain items.
This
and
is
nobody
why
tried.
Jeremy said, this is why I don't let Missy talk to the Russian drug dealers in Amsterdam. That's fair. It's fair.
He even knew they were Russian. I didn't know. He's like, I don't want to stand over here near the Russians. I'm like, how do you know that there are Russians?
Do you think that there's something about, like, I am surprised that they would know that Jeremy talks about his recovery and we're so thankful and he's a superstar. But like, do you think that there's just like a way about certain people that are like, this guy would probably want some of my
There
stuff.
must be, because
and they're like, that lady likes to drink root beer.
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
there's just something about us.
No one has ever.
I've
never been in a situation.
And only one time did somebody ask me to be in their swinger group. Has anybody asked you to swing?
I think inadvertently.
Missy? Raise your hand if someone has approached you for an alternative lifestyle choice.
One time.
Me one time.
Yeah.
And I had no idea it was happening.
Yeah, exactly. I thought mine was very awkward. Was yours awkward?
Yeah, all of it's awkward.
Yeah, that's
so. I'll tell my story, then you tell yours. They said nope.
Yep.
Nope. I think it's because maybe it's because was it after a show? Mine was after a show.
Mine was after a show.
I think it's because hand raised one time only because I was wearing a pineapple shirt.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because that'll do it. So hand up. Yes, a woman wanted a date. I feel left out. What?
Yeah. No, Marie, mine. When you hear my story, you're not going to feel left out.
What's your story? You go first.
Oh, mine's so bad.
My sister-in-law.
What?
Yes, she just. What her bro?
Isn't that with a family member? I feel like this is a
There's
bad idea.
We got a lot to talk about,
but
Robin.
that would make for a great Christmas card picture.
As a parking lot attendant in AC, 2 men came back out. Sans the woman they were with and wanted me to join. No. My husband is a door, and I don't know. Is a door, and I don't know. Is that kind of party? My cackles were up. No,
You
but
were
I blame
asking-
my husband. He's not approachable. Jeannie's like, listen, somebody would
I
have,
coulda.
but he's blocking me right now.
He's got the bad
Kim
non-swing
said I was
energy.
asked more than once. I was married, so I said no. My husband would get upset. Kimberly, no. Okay, she's asked about my pineapple by the fireplace. I didn't know when I got that pineapple.
Which I think is pretty hilarious.
It is,
that
but
you
I
have
love
a
that pineapple.
Yeah.
But go ahead, you tell your story.
Oh, this is so dumb. I had done a show,
Okay.
and I don't even remember. I hadn't talked about it on stage, but the comic that went up before me had mentioned something about a situation that was more than one person in a bedroom, all of that. So I went to go use the bathroom. I knocked on the door. Nobody answered. It was just a one stall
Was it a
situation.
closet?
Yeah, it was like a closet. It was like a closet. It was a closet.
joking.
And there was a woman on the toilet. I was like, I'm so sorry.
But
And
you
she-
opened the door.
I opened the door, and there was a lady sitting on the toilet. So I shut the door. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she came out, and she's like, I don't mind that you came in. Remember what that guy was joking about? Well, my husband and I are them, and we'd like to meet you.
And we always ask people when they see me on the toilet.
So I'm not making.
So what did you say? Because
said,
I start to stutter a little because I'm always like, what?
I was just like, no, thank you. No, thank you. But I couldn't believe I wanted to say, this is how you pick up people. Like if you purposely don't lock the bathroom door and think like
And
that.
just hope.
And I'm like, is this a sign that no one told me about? Like if you walk in and there's a lady on the potty, it means she wants to. It's not a good story.
That's a weird.
It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not
yeah.
how I envisioned.
I was proposition. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It
No.
was not.
No, so here's mine. So I'm with Eric Roth. I don't know if Jim and Tim
Oh, yeah,
Brill are
yeah,
here,
yeah.
but there's another comic. I'm with Eric, and we're in Cherry Hill at the old club that used to be the Elephant and Castle.
That's
And it's only about, I don't know, 15 minutes from my own house. And finished the show, right? And this couple came up, and a lot of time people will come up to you after a show and be like, "Oh, that was so funny," whatever, right? So they're like, "Oh, we loved your show. We had a great time." So it's Eric and I stand there like, "We loved your show," and they're going on, and Eric's just like, "I was on the show." They were like, "Yeah, you were good."
I was there.
And they were like, "Yeah, you were good." But we just thought you were so great. And I was like, "Oh, thanks so much." And they're like, "Do you are you staying here tonight?" I was like, "Oh, no, I just live like 10, 15 minutes from here. So, not a very far or whatever." And they were like, "Did you want to stay here tonight?" And I was like, "Still not." I go,
Yeah, I would.
"No, I don't. No, I just live like 15 minutes." Now I'm still talking, right? And Eric was just like, and I was like, "No, I don't live far from here." And they were like, "Well, if you wanted to stay and hang out a little bit." And I was like, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "Eric, are you going to stay?" And he just stares at me. And I was like, and then he says, "Because my wife thinks that you're very attractive." And I was like, "Oh." He said, "So, if you wanted to stay with us." And so Eric's like, "I'll stay. I'd be happy to stay." And I just was like dumbfounded because no one's ever said it. And I was like, "Oh, Eric, did you say you wanted to stay?" So I just started putting it on Eric, and it was just so uncomfortable. And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't think so. But thank you." Because you're just like, that was very nice. It's very kind of you to think of us I was like, I'm not going. And I was just like stuck on Eric at that point. I was like, we're going to go. At that point, I know what to do. So it was the craziest thing because it never happened before. So I go home, and of course, Jim's already asleep because you get home really late, right? I get home and I climb into bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're never going to guess what happened. I start telling him the whole story. And, he was like, well, what did you say? I go, I don't know. I was just so taken by surprise, and the guy was ugly anyway, so I wasn't going to do it. And blah, 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 blah. He goes, wait, what does that have to do with anything?
That's what all these people are saying. I wouldn't, because if we don't know what she might have had in the bathroom, I'm like, that's your only reason? Like, there's it. You know what? If she showed me a certificate of clean health, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, like a pap smear or something, it would have been fun. But Jim's like, what does it matter if he was hot? I was like, well, I mean, if he was hot, I would have thought about it for like a second, maybe, but he wasn't. So he was like, that shouldn't have anything to do with it. I'm
right.
Like,
he makes a point. He makes a good point. Because
has a little bit to do with it.
Does this
mean? You'd be like, oh, I should say no, right? Okay.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because you know how when Bruce Willis found out he was dead at the end of that movie? Okay. And he looks back and all these things.
We all look back. We're like, wait a minute.
So like at all the like Elks clubs and stuff where people have been like, you're welcome to stay at our place tonight.
Missy, I think you were approached a number of times.
I feel a little better about myself.
Feeling a little sassy.
I'm feeling very sassy.
Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was I don't even think I know when men are hitting on me, let alone a couple. Like I think most of us are oblivious. That's why
Santa has been approached.
Santa hasn't been approached as Santa? Jim, you're lying.
Wait, Jim, we need more information. Was this like, did they want you to be Santa?
See, you're gross. But like, how did the woman? Okay, so here's the question: does the woman approach you?
Santa. Yes.
I don't know which one he's saying yes to, but any of them.
Any of
yes.
that.
Wow. In the 60s, yeah.
There was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that. Well, that's what I think is funny. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you're like out with your boyfriend or your husband and like I'm oblivious. If somebody's trying to hit on me, I'm oblivious. But the guy that you're with will be like, we're going to go now. Like, I think that guys know more, a lot of times more than we know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody hits on me anymore.
They do.
I haven't noticed.
I was hitting on you earlier, and you didn't even pick it up.
I didn't pick up what you were laying down.
I was laying down. I haven't been approached by a couple, but a few women have approached me. Tara's like, I'm not oblivious. Tara's like, oh, hello.
Hello, yeah.
I'm always oblivious. Shakendra, do you know how many bus drivers have tried to pick you up? And we all noticed it.
We all noticed that, Shakendra.
I was like, I turned down the radio. It was like, guys, be quiet. Let's watch Shakendra get picked up by this guy. I was hit on in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. You got hit on in the bathroom. What are you talking about? That's true. How could you be oblivious? The lady was on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, a couple through the years, a couple women have. That's fine. You know what I mean? Because women aren't scary.
Yeah, no, that doesn't scare me. Although, okay, I have another story.
Well, I mean, the toilet lady scared me a little bit.
Okay, here's another one. So this many, many moons ago, I was Miss New Jersey. I'm 22.
I was never Miss New Jersey.
And so I would have to go to these appearances, right? I'd go to these different appearances all over the state. And by the time I got home from work, it would be like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I wanted to go like do stuff, but all my friends were already at a party or already, somewhere. But one of my friends was a DJ. And he was DJing at this one club all the time. And so like on my way home, I'd be like, let me stop by that party. Because I know he'd be up at midnight. He'd still be at the DJ stand. So I go to this, and it was in Cherry Hill. And it was like a pretty like jamming place at the time. So like I would normally do, I would come in and I would sit, and he was like on the other side of the bar. And I would go because there were a couple different DJs. So I just make sure it was his name is Brian, and I'd make sure it was him. And I would see him just to make sure he was there. And then I'd be like, all right, I'm coming. But it would take a while to get through the dance floor. So I do that. I get there and I see him and he waves. And I was like, okay. So there's like music playing. So I'm dancing across the bar, right? Right? And it's a Raining Men is playing. It's a raining man, right? I'm doing it across the bar. And I'm noticing that a lot of people are out there and they all start dancing with me. And I was like, oh yeah, right. I'm dancing. And then I start noticing that it's all girls. And I was like, oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah. And I'm like, where are your boyfriends? And I was like, there's no boys here. What? And then I see Brian going, get off. This isn't your kind of party. And I was like, I'm having a great time. And then I was like, noticing everybody's getting closer. And I was like, oh, this is, no, okay. He was like, come on. And I was like, and I made it all. I go, is this a special kind of party? He goes, this is a special party. And I don't think this is your party. And you are very popular. So I'm going to need you to stay here in the DJ booth.
That's perfect.
It was so funny. I was like, yep.
No,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. It's interesting because I would never feel intimidated by that.
I wouldn't have if I knew what I had danced into.
Well, no.
first.
I don't mean that. But
hey,
what I'm just
girl.
saying, like just bigger in general.
Yeah, no.
Like
sure.
if I were to, it's not like nobody's going to follow me out to my car and hurt me kind of a situation.
No. So funny though.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. Good times.
Yeah. Oh, that's
good
awesome.
times. I feel better knowing that Santa also got approached.
I was about to say, I want to hear that story. And what did Santa say?
What did Santa say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're going to get yourself a girlfriend. Said he said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I walked into a party in Boston. 1 hour later said, where's all the ladies tonight? Yep. Yeah. It's a little different. I went there to was too oblivious to know it was swingers night. I feel like you would pick that up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But maybe I wouldn't.
I think that I'm assuming just like most things, if it's not on your radar, you probably don't notice. Like if we went outside, I would immediately notice a red-headed woodpecker. But you're not into birds and you might not.
I have no idea what you just said. Dearest Jeremy, when we were in high school, my friend caught his parents with the neighbors.
That's embarrassing. All the high school kids
What were
knew.
you just talking about? A red bird? What were you saying?
I was saying something's got to be in your brain, like one of the things that you think about often. For instance, if we went outside, I love birds. So if I spotted a red-headed woodpecker, I'd be like, oh my gosh. Because in my mind, I'm kind of always looking for a red-headed woodpecker. You're probably not.
Jason was like, is red-headed woodpecker code for something? I need you to unpack the rest because I still don't know that I have any idea what you're talking about.
I love, guys, it's on.
Are you saying like if I walked into a gay bar that I wasn't thinking I was gonna be in a gay bar?
Right.
You should just scream red-headed woodpecker and run away. Red-headed woodpecker.
Sure, if you ever find yourself in an uncomfortable situation,
to It's Raining Men,
just yell out red-headed woodpecker.
No,
what I'm saying is if it's something that you're kind of in your brain always on the lookout for.
Is that your safe word with Jeremy?
It is now.
You just went, oh my God.
Baby, I'm sorry.
You're gonna be running through the house naked. Red-headed woodpecker. everybody, when they are feeling fancy with their partners at some point, to scream out, "Red-headed woodpecker!" Oh my gosh. You know, Jerry's gonna meme that today. Not happy, he said. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna have to explain why I'm laughing during sex. Wait, I don't know, was it Saturday? Saturday I called Missy because I was coming home from seeing Chris in North Jersey, and I'm driving to my gig, and I said to Missy, I said, I'm so tired. I said, just talk to me. She was going to her gig. And so we started talking about something, and we were laughing so hard in the car. And I said, do you think that any of this is funny to anybody else or just the two of us? And we couldn't stop laughing. Missy needs to change her name now to Missy Red-Headed Woodpecker Hall. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to get a tattoo.
Oh, Jeremy, that's our next tattoo. Red-headed woodpecker.
Mooney, you're gonna need to go back.
Oh. But we do this all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Like if we were to write down the conversations
Doesn't
that we
make any
have,
sense.
like nobody would get it. Like you have to literally be with us and be like, Dina said it. And it was like, yeah. We will accept it.
RHWP for short. Okay. Well, there's that. So listen, we gotta go. We're gonna go check out this boob.
That one.
Yep, and make sure that it is good to go. And I totally understand what Missy meant, but you made it funny.
Thank you. How do you two ever get writing done? I didn't even bring my computer today.
You should have.
I would. You know what? I should have. Now I could do dictating into my phone.
Do that.
I could sit quietly. Yes.
Maybe that is the name of your book. But all caps.
All caps. Red-headed woodpecker. Yeah, Kendra, I'm gonna go with her. We're gonna go get everything checked out. Everybody, get your parts checked.
Yeah,
get them checked. Information is power.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes. So thanks for watching, everybody. Tonight is Ugly Monday for supporters. So please join us tonight for a supporter check-in.
How can you sound all serious?
I don't know. I'm trying to give some class to this show. Trying to get it back on track.
Class it up a little bit.
And tomorrow you can check the hallway out with it's now going to be called it has a new name.
Red-headed Woodpecker Story Hour.
And Tipsy Tuesday follows that. So that's it. So thanks for watching. As Judy from Saskatoon, Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. So thanks for watching. Have a great day and a blessed day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.